Welcome back, guys. Today we found two new veins. One of the veins we found with traditional prospecting methods. For the other, we busted out the dowsing rods and we uncovered something pretty darn interesting. Look at that. I'm not moving at all. It's not even blowing wind out here. So come along and help me find El Dorado. Right here we have a massive piece of quartz, and upon closer inspection there's a lot of hematite. There's some little vugs, and this is somewhat reminiscent of veinal material. There's a heavier band in here. Now this definitely has some kind of alteration going on. We have little hematite and quartz and smoky quartz crystals. Here's some massive bull white quartz. Now if we can find an enriched mineralized zone, that's what we want. Here we got some iron included quartz between biotite schist. Here we go. Here's something. So we have quartz, the black. You can see some deep brown there. That's indicative of iron and hematite, which can be a gold indicator for this area. So it's getting a little bit more interesting. This material certainly shows some promise. However, it doesn't yet look like high grade material to me. So it looks like we got massive quartz, we got granite, we got mica schist, and then this white rock is porphyry. So I'm thinking that where this porphyry meets either quartz or the granite, we could have a mineralized zone. So that's what we're gonna keep an eye out for. Here we got a little bit of magnetite showing. Now this all of a sudden looks a lot more interesting. We got some crystal vugs, some limonite, hematite. I can see the reminiscent remains of pyrite cubes. This is more of what we're looking for right here. Here's some massive quartz. You can see it's creating some larger quartz crystals, which means that this phase of this intrusion had more time to cool. It cooled more slowly, allowing the crystals to grow. Here we have something different. Always when I'm out prospecting, I train my eye to look for different, uncharacteristic, out of place. So far in this trench, we haven't encountered any of this material, so this is new. This looks like a gneiss, however it's very, very heavy in mica and schist and a little bit of granite, so this could actually be categorized as a mica schist. So it looks like we're heading into different zones and layering beddings of bedrock, and where different contact zones occur is also where higher mineralization can occur. So it's interesting we spotted this. We'll just keep an eye out and see how things change as we keep going up here. Up here on the hill I just spotted this huge chunk of quartz, and it looks like it's got some mineralization going on. We got rose quartz, bull quartz with iron in it, and we all of a sudden have this really heavy iron and manganese type coating, which is interesting. I'm actually just gonna flip this guy over so that the weather can wash it. Next time out here, I'll take a closer look at that. I saw this piece over here glimmering out of the corner of my eye, and it looks like a porphyry, but you can see there's that crystalline micro-druzy quartz on there with some iron and other mineralization as well. So it looks to me like the porphyry is actually carrying some values, and there could very well possibly be a really nice enrichment zone where this meets other country rock and or there's a fault. We got some bigger quartz and magnetite showing, so that's a good indicator as well. Progressively, as we're getting higher up this hill, it looks like the material's changing. We're hitting different bedding zones and the material's starting to look more promising. So I just picked up this solid quartz plate. You know, it's 3 by 4 inches roughly, 3/4 of an inch thick, and it's showing some crystalline banding, a little bit of hematite, and right here we have a nice little pyrite crystal. You know, there's not a whole lot of mineralization in it, but it looks like the right circumstances and fluids are starting to come together. I bet you this has a little bit of gold in it. We're gonna try to locate a richer piece and keep tracing up this vein. Now here we go. The strata is yet changing once again. Look at this thing. This is super mineralized chunk right here. And right next to it, there's more. So somewhere in the zone, there's a vein running. But this material right here looks awfully interesting. I know of deposits in the area that are primary iron, however, they run 3 to 5 ounces per ton gold also, and this looks very similar to that material. I'm going to leave this here just as an indicator so we can come back and prospect this location a little bit further. Right here, right behind me, we have this granite bedrock outcropping cutting across. We just found the heavy iron mineralized rock down there. We found a few more up here. And right up here, I found a specimen of quartz with hematite and pyrite, and it's above this band. So I'm gonna guess that that particular vein is running somewhere up here, possibly even further up the way. But this right here is what we're looking for. We got really iron mineralized quartz, and then there's a secondary vein up here with pyrite, hematite, and magnetite cubes. So this is a small piece that could lead us to the vein up above. Oh yeah, right up above I'm finding more pieces of this mineralized quartz. And I don't know if you guys can see that, but this is more or less brachiated quartz, which has been fractured and broken under pressure. And between the little cracks and crystals is mineralized fluid that can be gold bearing. So this is really interesting up here to find that. Now let me know if you guys spot gold in the video, because I can't see everything as I'm going. In this zone, it looks like we have a lot more massive quartz, and it looks like the rock type also changes. We're encountering material that looks like this, and this looks like it's much finer grained quartz, and it's got little micro stringers running through it. But all around this is fairly interesting looking mineralized quartz. So possibly at the contact of this and the porphyry, we might have this wild quartz vein, and this is growing crystals as well. Ooh, check out this piece. Now that's cool. Hematite growing on this druzy quartz, really sparkly, and you can see how it's cracked and fractured, which makes it brachiated under pressure, and then the hydrothermal fluids would seep up and deposit in these cracks. I might keep this piece and give it away here later on the show. Oh yeah, we're on the stuff, guys. That brachiated quartz. Can you spot it? There's 2 pieces in this scene, and I found one. I pulled it out just a second ago. But here's the other camera, so you guys can see that crazy texture. We got super heavy iron-rich material bonding those pebbles together. And then check out this bigger piece right here. That's just wild. Wild, I tell you. Too cool. It's like this brachiated section. We got quartz, bull quartz here, and then we have an intrusion, a vein of this brachiated, cemented together material. And I'm gonna have a piece of this assay to see if there's anything in it, because it sure looks interesting to me. Pretty darn cool. Ooh, look at that big old chunk of quartz. We got pyrite showing right there, some hematite and or magnetite. Now this is enriched quartz for sure. So this zone's actually looking pretty interesting. We're gonna take this, and if you comment down below what I called these cracks within this rock, or what I called this, you'll be entered for a chance to win it. I think we're getting closer to that big quartz vein. We're finding remnant pieces right down here on the hillside, and I think I just spotted a big piece down here in the draw. Check it out. So this thing's down in here. I'm gonna have to pull out the pick to get this thing free. Ooh, baby knot. There we go. Look at that. Yeah, now that's getting closer to what we're looking for. Look at all that mineralization. So this again is brachiated quartz, and we got layers and bands of all kinds of heavy metals depositing. On the backside we have some honeycomb action, which a lot of times indicates that there was pyrite and or sulfides in here, and over hundreds of thousands of years the water and the air has oxidized it, leaching it away, leaving gold and any other precious metals potentially behind, and making this a non-sulfide ore. So this is actually really interesting right here. Let's take a look around, see if we can find anything else. Got the Ouija sticks, we'll bust out in a minute. Oh, check that out. Got a nice pile of this quartz right here. So you can see how it's all brachiated and interfilled with mineralized fluid. This material could actually possibly make some interesting cabochons. So that vein's got to be running right in here somewhere. Ooh, that's a cool piece right there. Very nice. Wow. So this is a perfect example where you can see the actual rock crystals out in fragments that were brachiated. It was all broken up and then cemented back together with this mineralized fluid. That's a really cool piece right there. Look at that. That thing's gnarly. So this actually looks like a pretty good candidate. It's similar to those other rocks I was finding, but this could be a good candidate for crushing, panning, and or assaying. If we have room in the pack, we're gonna grab this and take that with us. But this is pretty darn cool. This is still in that same zone where I'm finding that other quartz. And it looks like it actually shoots off this way. Now you gotta really look close, but if you look close, you can find these things. And then what the heck is that? Oh yeah, so this is looking even better. Look at that mineralization right there in this little quartz band. So this isn't brachiated, but it's right next to it. So this is a really good indicator. I think we're onto something here. Look at that. Look at all those black spider veins in there. Some interesting stuff. And it continues. So it looks like this particular vein is fairly wide. Ooh, that's a nice piece. Look at that vugging going on. This is even more indicative of gold, all these little vugs in this quartz band. This is really interesting. This is all in like a 20-foot wide band. I traced it up here and it looks like it continues back in this direction. Oh yeah, here's another piece of that brachiated. I think we're definitely on the trend of the vein. Going here east to west. We're gonna have to add this to the map of the property. You know, we call this place the Golden Goose because every vein we find, which we've found a bunch, every single one so far is assayed with gold in it. I haven't assayed any of this material. This looks like a new vein. So let's hope that the Golden Goose is producing once again. So we got quartz up there, there. We just found this piece way down here. And it's making me think that the vein's running this way. You know, we got similar quartz down here. This brachiated stuff, though, certainly has me curious. Ooh, look at this guy. All right. So that's some massive quartz right in the same zone. You know, we got chunks of this porphyry all around. So I wonder if this vein is right up against the porphyry. Now look at that piece. That looks promising indeed. Quartz iron, a little bit of magnetite. We got some vugs. Look at this vuggy druzy here on the backside. I think we got a vein here, guys. So there's a rock outcropping right there, and this band of quartz is running down here. So I wonder if that's indicative of the upslope host boundary, and then we got quartz below it. Oh man, in this big band of this brachiated quartz, look at this thing. Pull this out of the ground. See what we got. Almost there. Yeah. Look at that giant chunk of quartz, baby. So this one's slightly mineralized. Looks like we have porphyry, quartz, and then next to it we have that intrusion, that vein of that brachiated material. That looks really interesting. So this could be the upslope boundary of the vein here, which again is in line with this rock outcropping, and the vein runs down along this way. Pretty darn cool. Well, we definitely have a vein of some sorts here, and it doesn't look like anyone's ever touched it before. So you can see this quartz scatterings which are helping me chase and follow this vein. As you can see, we're in line right at the base of this rock outcropping. So I bet you the vein runs like this. So I'm going to make this sample a little bit smaller because my pack's already loaded down. I'm going to just break off this top part. Wasn't too hard. There you can see that brachiated vein right there. So this one looks like it runs through for the most part, so we'll take that. Leave this here as an indicator. And this chunk here actually looks really, really good also. We'll see if we can break that one more time. There we go. Liberated this big old chunk. That's a beauty. That's a collector specimen right there. But it looks like the iron, you know, transitions from this deep dark red to this lighter brown. And this to me looks like gold carrying. So we're gonna take a sample. We're gonna bag and tag one right here. Let's call this mid upper trench brecciated vein area. I take this piece we just chiseled off, this smaller piece, this piece, and this little guy right here. We're gonna leave all the rest of this so we can refine this spot. And what we took was a good representative of this brecciated material. We didn't take all the best looking stuff, we took a little bit of it all. So we located this brecciated vein. I'm gonna follow this, see how far it runs. We're gonna head off in this direction and see if we can't keep following float. Check this out. Look at that massive piece. That's just huge. This looks very interesting. So we're on the same trend. Oh man, is that some malachite? That green? Because if we got green copper showing, we almost definitely got gold. But it looks like this is actually moss. It tricked me. I'm not seeing any more. Maybe the vein dipped down. Oh, there's some. So we're still on it. Here's a piece. Big chunk. Here's another one. Now this is a little bit more massive quartzy, so maybe we're on the edge of it. So here we have this big granite intrusion, and I'm guessing the vein either runs on this side or this side of it. We're not sure yet which. There's a piece. Oh yeah, that's a piece for sure. That looks very interesting. So this is above that outcropping. This one looks even better. So this is above that granite outcropping, so that vein could run up, very well run up this way. So I don't forget, this sample right here was at the granite outcrop, looking uphill, above it, and a little bit to the right over here. Now let's go below the granite band, see what we can find. Yeah, big plates of porphyry. Wonder if it's... Well, yeah, porphyry covering this whole hillside, but that's a pretty big plate. So maybe we have a outcrop of it here somewhere in this vicinity. Bedrock, granite. We got a little bit of white staining. This is very weathered granite. Look how gnarly looking that is. But we got a space right here in the middle between this and that where there very well could be a mineralized vein running through. Would have to dig down to see, but here I can see the granite pushes over to here, so we know there's nothing in this zone. So from the looks of it, the brecciated vein runs from there across towards the rock, and then there's either a pocket that pushes up or it cuts across up that way. It doesn't appear to be in this band of granite or below it. So now I'm on to looking for new exposures and or new veins. We got some bedrock outcropping. I always check these areas if at all possible because the weather, the snow, the rain is washed off the rock and you can better see the rock surface. So I look for veins, these sorts of things. I don't really see anything in this, but right at the base of it, check this out. That's a really nice looking chunk of quartz with vugging and definitely some good mineralization up in here. So this is the only floater I found in this area just now, so I'm gonna leave it as an indicator. If I come back, I'll have some more clues to look at. The reason we're calling it the Golden Goose is because we've already uncovered 3 historic mines. We just found this vein today, 1. We've sampled 2 veins, had them assayed, showed up gold, 2, 3. We found another vein the other day, that's 4. We're gonna sample that, and there's certainly more veins in this vicinity, so it's pretty exciting. The ground's just like the Golden Goose, it keeps laying golden vein eggs. Here you can see a large quartz outcropping. Quartz is so hard that it doesn't erode very easily, and fortunately this piece is sticking up so that we can see it. It looks like there's a secondary cemented vein right there in the middle. Actually, you know what we have there? This looks like some sort of bee material. See that? How it's breaky? So I chiseled a little piece of this stuff out, and it definitely is of organic origin. It almost looks like beeswax. Some little critter packed it in there and cemented it with these little pebbles. I broke off a little piece and it smells like pine sap, which is really weird because we don't have any pine trees around here. Maybe there's some kind of characteristic bee that makes homes out of pine sap in the high alpine tundra bee activity. But this is pretty darn weird. This is a neat find right there. That's pretty darn cool, guys. I've never seen anything like it. Ooh, look at that. We've got a hoof from an animal. A mountain lion had a treat right here. Look at that. Crazy. Ooh, and right next to it, what is that? We got a chunk of quartz with magnetite, manganese, or something going on. So maybe right here we'll bust out the Ouija sticks, do a little dowsing, and see if we can come up with a new hidden vein. So we thought today we've already found quite a few veins on this property, just with our eyes prospecting and sampling around. We had these dowsing rods in our truck, and a couple guys wanted to see some more dowsing. So I figured why not give it a shot here and see if we can locate something. I found veins way down there, back here below. We're gonna go up this hillside, do a little dowsing and see if we get any hits. And if we do, we can dig a little bit, see if we can find some more, take some samples and go from there. So why not? We're gonna give it a shot today. These are homemade dowsing rods I made. The handles are made out of plastic from pens I found in my truck. The wire is heavy gauge mild steel baling wire that I straightened out into rods, and I put the handles on so that the rods can spin freely like this. You see that? Something's going on crazy here. You know, I have my cell phone in my pocket, the camera's right there, there's no wind, and these rods are just flailing around like something's telling them something's going on. I haven't tuned them in yet or told them what to look for, just so you guys can see metal does interact with water, you know, energy waves, hopefully gold, all sorts of things. And I'm just standing here talking to you guys, and the sticks are trying to tell me something. Right now they're pointing at you saying, hey guys, how's it going? Who knows? We're gonna try to tune in our minds to what we're looking for and see if we can get those sticks to cross on a gold bearing vein. Who knows, maybe we're sitting on one right here. All right. Right here. All right. So I left my cell phone in my bag over there, just in case the waves were affecting the dowsing rods. We're gonna start right here. It's typically what I do. Stretch, gotta get loose so I don't cramp up, for one thing. And I hold the rods so that they can spin freely like so. And I hold them about chest high, my elbows out just a little bit from my body, so that I can focus and let the sticks spin freely without hitting me. And for some odd reason, they're just going nuts right here, just standing here. But we're gonna start. It's getting caught. It's not spinning totally freely. Maybe these have been bouncing around in my truck too long. There we go, that's better. Whoa. All right. So I'm just gonna start gridding up this hill and see if we get any signals, and then I'll see if we get any repeat signals. So first I gotta start thinking about gold, what I want the sticks to locate, and get my mindset there, and I'm gonna stop talking. I'm gonna get to work and get dowsing. Gold veins. For gold vein that I can find, locate, dig out, and process profitably. I'm looking for gold in a vein. I'm looking for gold in a vein that I can locate that isn't too deep and that has good values of gold in it that we can mine. Now for some reason while I'm talking, the dowsing rods are pointing straight back at the camera and back that way. Who knows, maybe it's telling me the vein's behind me, but it's pretty odd. I'm not influencing these whatsoever. But so I'm looking for a gold vein today. Let's find a gold vein we can locate on the surface and work profitably. All right. Got a signal right here. So I got one target behind me. I marked it with some stacked rocks. We're gonna scratch around there a little bit. But the dowsing rods are going kind of nuts. They kept telling me to come back this way, and you know, it's pointing behind the camera as well. So I'm gonna walk back there and see if it's leading me to anything. So I got one hit target right in here. So I'm gonna see if I can repeat it for you guys on camera here. All right, so here we go. There's that stack of rocks somewhere in this vicinity. I got the dowsing rods to cross, or they wanted to cross deliberately here from two different angles. Let's see if I can do it again. So we're pointing to the left. See that? They're wanting to cross and stay crossed right there. Oh, gold vein. Gold vein. See, they're crossing right here. Did it again. Let's walk past it, see what happens. Oh, it's still pulsing right here. They're still acting kind of funny. And here they broke. Now they're pointing back towards the camera. Maybe we have a mineralized band from here to down there that's covered in the soil here. We can't see it. So I'm going to come back down. See, there you have it. They're crossing again. Oh, and they're pulsing. Pulsing. Let's get that gold vein. Here we go. They're crossing again and pulsing. So if what we're asking is correct, we're looking for a mineralized gold vein that we can access from the surface and profitably work. The dowsing rods are telling us we got like a 6-foot wide vein right here. And then here they split. Hope you guys can see that. The dowsing rods were saying we got a mineralized patch from here to 6 feet up that way somewhere. I'm going to try it again, make sure we got the camera angle right. Mineralized gold vein. Gold vein. Gold vein. Gold vein. There we have it. You guys see that? How they perfectly crossed? Now they're pulsing. Right here above our stack of rocks, the dowsing rods cross and pulse again. Try that one more time coming down. So we're looking for a gold vein. So we're looking for a gold vein that we can locate at the surface relatively easily. Gold vein. So they're crossing right here and pulsing back and forth. They're staying crossed. Look at that. I'm not moving at all. It's not even blowing wind out here. We're looking for a gold vein. So I think here we're on the boundary of the vein. But my stack of rocks, right here, I'm getting a signal here again. So we've repeated this many times. We're detecting something here. I'm gonna mark this. We're gonna take a quick look around. But I'm going to mark this for future reference because we're getting some kind of anomaly from here to, shoot, I didn't mark the upside, but roughly about 6 feet that way. We're going to make a quick rock cairn, and if we have a 6 foot wide mineralized zone here, that would be phenomenal. So we're going to go from here to there, and we're going to have to sample in here and see if we can find anything interesting. So we're on the west end of the Golden Goose, and this is where we just dowsed. We got signals from here up to that other rock cairn up there. We're gonna go walk that in a second. What I'm noticing right by my backpack, giant piece of bull quartz. It's got a little bit of something going on in there. See that? Here and here. Here's another chunk of quartz, and right next to it is this piece of mineralized. See that little vein in there? So there's this. You know, there's some kind of big inclusion. So let's take a big overall look at the area. My first rock cairn is sitting on granite bedrock. Here's a big chunk of quartz that came down from somewhere above. So yeah, this chunk of quartz. So we got this band of granite. Looks like this band continues. We got granite bedrock here. This is granite bedrock here. This actually looks like gneiss. So we have granite, then gneiss. Then this would be in the zone that we were detecting. We got mineralized porphyry. Here's some more bull-looking quartz. Here's more of that gneiss. So maybe somewhere in here we got a vein, a gold vein. So this gneiss runs up this way. You know, roughly at this angle. So we could possibly have a vein that we're hitting on somewhere in here. You know, there's another outcropping somewhere in here running down that way. Let's look to see if we can't find something. We're coming up on our rock cairns up there. The other one's down here. So we're going to start looking even closer to see if we can't find some sort of veinal remnants. I mean, we do have this mineralized porphyry. You see that? There's a bunch of little veinlets and vugs. This stuff is usually barren white, whereas this one's rusty red. Maybe there's a porphyry dike in here that's gold bearing. Biotite mica. This is more porphyry. So we got iron banding on this porphyry. See that? It's about 3 millimeters thick. Give us a sign. Let's find something. Well, shoot, we might have to... Oh, there's something. So here's more of that porphyry. This one's got another couple millimeter thick band right there. I don't know. We might have to put a shovel in the ground. Well, so far I'm not seeing anything too obvious aside from the quartz and somewhat mineralized porphyry. It could possibly be the porphyry that we're looking for. I'm gonna put the pick down and see if we can't come up with something. So right here in the middle of the cairns, we're gonna dig a little hole, see if we can't locate something. Now it feels like we're already on bedrock. It's just super dirty, I can't see anything. We might have to uncover this as best we can, let it sit all winter, and let the rain and snow wash it off so we can actually see what's there. So I'll clear off a little bit of a bigger patch. And we'll also want to create a drainage trough down the bottom so that moisture can drop in, wash it, and then come out the end. So we cleared off a nice little pocket here, but it looks like we're hitting permafrost. That's already permafrosted material. Let's see. Whoa, you know what? That's different. That's not porphyry. This is a solid chunk of quartz with a little bit of iron banding. There's some black banding right there. We didn't see any of this on the surface. So who the heck knows? We might actually have a buried gold vein here. I'm gonna chip this out. All right, what do you know? We scraped off some of the surface, pulled out this first chunk of quartz with some mineralization in it. There's a crest right there. Here's a second piece of quartz. This one will have to break so you can see it better. And this one just came out of the ground. That's solid quartz. This isn't porphyry. So we may have actually uncovered something here. Wild. So this is all permafrost. But we didn't see any indications of this material at the surface. It was just below the surface, right in our dowsed zone. Take a look at that. Cairn, our hole we cleared off, and here's the second cairn. We didn't see any of that type of quartz in the zone, and we uncovered that just a couple inches down below the surface. So heck, we might have yet another vein here. So I'm gonna walk this off just so we have a guesstimate of the width of this. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, somewhere around 8 feet wide. And believe it or not, we uncovered something interesting down in that hole. Pretty wild. So I know there's a lot of dowsing skeptics out there. That's okay. Prospecting, you get out of it what you put into it. The dowsing rods, I've used them before in a very specific circumstance. And you know what? Whatever it was, either the dowsing rods, the extra motivation, the extra reason to dig and search, to keep pushing forward, if that's what drove us, it's a success to me. Now in this case, we dowsed up this hillside, and this is a band of 8-9 feet wide that the dowsing rods kept crossing on. You guys saw how they were pulsing. We scanned the surface. We didn't really see any surface float indicators. And just below the surface, we broke open right here some mineralized quartz that we couldn't see. Here's another piece that we haven't broken yet. So we're gonna break that right now. Damn, it's hard. There we go. Cracked it. So this is different. You know, it's really fine-grained quartz. And there's a little bit of hematite. Who knows? The dowsing rods might have led us to something. We found that conglomerate vein up top. That's really interesting. We're gonna assay that and see what we get. And then when walking back to the truck or anywhere, I always take a different path. I veer off of my normal course so I can cover new ground and potentially find new things. And in doing so, I just found something else interesting. So first my eye picked up on this big old chunk of quartz, but it doesn't look too interesting. And then right here above it, we have some stronger mineralized quartz. Look at that. Now that's interesting. And there's a band of mineralization running through the middle. So you just always got to keep your eyes peeled. You never know what you might come across and take new trails like this right here. What the heck is that? So we got quartz turning into slightly vuggy. That's a big old hunker. Look at that. Look at all that magnetite. That's just loaded with magnetite. We'll leave that, let the weather clean it off for us. Ooh, see this? Here we got a big chunk of quartz that's been broken, and we have mineralized banding here, here, and here. That's interesting looking. What's that? That's different. We have some kind of, ooh, yeah, vuggy quartz. Look at that. We like that vuggy quartz. Some halfway decent looking stuff right here. I'm gonna leave this as an indicator, and it might continue uphill. We'll have to explore that some other day. Whoa! that was a drop. Whoa, we're getting a reading. Guess that means take off. We got this big hillside we were scouring up there. If you never find washes, a lot of times they'll cut the dirt down lower and expose bedrock. In this case, we don't have bedrock, but it exposes some big old rocks that may be of interest to us. So it's always good to look in these areas as well. That's almost like a giant crystal. So it goes to show, whatever gets you out there boot stomping on the ground, digging in the dirt, searching for that motherlode, maybe dowsing, detecting, reading geology, looking at rocks, crushing samples, or plain old exploring. Don't knock it till you tried it. And if you're not out there digging, you're never gonna find it. I really appreciate all your support, guys. Prospecting's my life. I love this. I love gold. I love treasure hunting. It just makes my soul happy. It's what I do. It's who I am. Remember, if you put your mind to it, anything's possible. The gold, the treasure, there's a lot still hiding out there. The old timers only scratched the surface. I'm finding multiple deposits every single summer, which is fantastic. If you get out there, do some research, and start prospecting, there's all kinds of opportunities for everybody. You know, in one of my other videos, I said gold doesn't care who you are. What matters is that you care about the gold and are obsessed with it enough to get out there and find it. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you on the next adventure.